Play ball! Blue 22, hike, hike, hike.
You are watching Sports and Sorts live on YouTube. That's 75% sports, 25% sorts. And here are your hosts, Shane and the Bry Man.
Yeah, baby. Oh wait, I gotta do something here. I gotta get all sorts of stuff in here about this because we are very, very happy as Yankee fans. So I think I'll do a little of this. Yeah, let's skip forward a little bit. All right, because the Yankees have really ponied up here. Yeah, baby. Who's got your money? The Yankees got your money.
Garrett Cole got their money.
Yeah, he did.
324 million of it.
So anyway.
About 170 plus after taxes.
Yeah, he's only going to make like, I don't know, what is it, like something ridiculous, like, I don't know, like $40,000 a pitch. Something ridiculous. Like he's making like $230,000 a game that he pitches. It's
yeah.
You know, nothing. That's some chump change right there, right?
Well, he had 326 strikeouts last year, so he basically makes $1 million a strikeout.
Nice. Well worth it. Well worth it.
Yeah. Hey, whatever. It ain't my money. Well,
yeah.
Sort of, but not really.
It kind of is. I mean, we do spend our money at Yankee Stadium, so therefore
I mean, the chicken buckets just went up a couple of bucks. You know.
Yes, you're not going to be able to. The line for, you know what? The line for like, what is it? Haagen-Dazs that's there. What's there? Is it Haagen-Dazs?
What is it there?
I don't know.
NYY steak,
like
Haagen-Dazs.
They're going to be a little shorter because everything's going to be a little more expensive.
You know what though? They'll still have no problem selling beer,
and they will have no problem selling tickets actually because people are going to want to watch this team play. I
mean, listen, this team averages 4 million fans a year at that stadium. I could easily see that going up. Like 4.25, 4.5.
Big time. All right, so we're going to get into that in a little bit. We're going to talk about real quick about MLB and some of the other signings that are real quick. We'll just run through them a little bit. And but first,
we have a quick show today.
Very quick show. We got to be done in about 20 minutes. So I'm sorry.
Yes.
Clint. We will get into a little Sunday night football as well.
There
really, just going to be short and quick and picks. All right, so let's get into our football real quick. We will touch on. Let's see. We got boom. Got the NFL picks here. I gave Brian this week. I gave him Houston versus Tennessee. Tennessee is the 3-point favorite here. And the over-under was surprising to me because it was a 51. Now, Tennessee, for me, I mean, I haven't been following them closely. I know they've been playing well under Ryan Tannehill, but I didn't think that they would be predicted to score as many points as they are, especially, and they have a good defense too. So I would like, all right, maybe it'd be like something like, 20-17 or something like that. But they, the pros out there that are picking say 51 is the over under. I would say it was an under here, but who you got? You got this game. What do you have?
And it is as pivotal a game as you can get.
8-5,
8-15 as possible. 8-5 versus 8-5. Mm-hmm. This game is in Tennessee. Houston has not looked great lately. Tennessee has won, up to 4 straight now, I think, under the masterful guise of Ryan Tannehill, which is bittersweet in so many ways. But, I think it's just a result of, Ryan Tannehill had some – well, he was never really that great. But he also had bad coaching in the Dolphins. Between Joe Philbin and Adam Gase, he had about as – two awful coaches as you could have. He did have 1 year where he did thrive under Adam Gase, but then he got injured and that kind of derailed everything for him. So, all of my instincts tell me to, and I was mad that you saddled me with this game because this is tough.
Yeah,
because all of my instincts tell me to stay away from the Titans in this game because the Titans, I keep thinking like to the Titans last year, who were they were a decent team, and they would get on these rolls where they would like win a couple of games in a row, and you'd start to believe in them, and then all of a sudden they would just have a total dud. But this year, I mean, now they've won 4 straight. I keep waiting for that game to happen, and it just doesn't seem to happen. They go on the road and win. They win at home, and I'm gonna stick with this team. I think the Titans are gonna win this game. Not big. I think it's going to be a a close game, a very close game. I think it's going to be a fun game, and I will be watching it. There are a lot of fantasy repercussions for me in this game because I have Derrick Henry and DeAndre Hopkins. So huge fantasy impact for me this weekend. So this is a game I will actually probably be watching, I think, on Sunday. But I am going to go with Titans 29. Almost like, am I asking?
29?
Titans 29. And the Houston Texans 22.
Wow. All right. So he picks the Tennessee Titans to take it to him and actually cover and everything. All right.
Correct.
And then you gave me this week, you gave me the Rams versus the Cowboys.
Also a extremely pivotal game.
Yes. And it's for
It's a must win for the Cowboys.
It
And I mean,
is.
it's really a must win for both of them. I mean, like if both teams want to keep their playoff chances alive, this is must win territory.
And I mean, I guess it depends on where you fall with the Cowboys right now, because this is the Cowboys are they're an underdog by 1.5 point, I think. Yeah, they're underdog. They're getting 1.5 points, so they are predicted
on the road,
to lose
right?
this game. Basically.
They're at the Rams, I think.
No, they're playing at the Cowboys, so they are the underdog at home against the Rams.
You are correct. Sorry. Yes.
And the over-under for this game is 49. I
This
was
is
just
tough.
given this game a few minutes ago.
Yeah, sorry.
So no, it's all right. It's okay. It's all right. It happens. I should be well-versed enough. We're in week 15 to understand these teams, where they're at and where they're headed going forward. And I'm going to say right now, if I was a Cowboys fan, I would be kind of rooting against the Cowboys this week. Not really rooting against, because you can't really root against your team too much. But I wouldn't be unhappy if they didn't win, because you get rid of Garrett, which is he's gone.
It seems inevitable anyway, to be honest.
But I mean, if they make the playoffs, it's a tougher sell.
I don't think so. Because I think they'd have to go on a run in the play. Like I think they'd have to reach the NFC Championship game for him to save his job.
They could very easily get through the first round, though. They could very easily with Zeke and Cooper. They could very easily get through a first round team.
They're not good though. They're not a good team.
They are not. I mean, they are. They are a good team. They're just not playing well.
Division is terrible.
But I mean, they're top 5 in offense. They're top 10 in defense. Like they should be winning.
My problem with this division is that between the Eagles and the Cowboys, both of these teams are trying to give the division to one another. Like it's like the hot potato that nobody wants.
I think the Eagles pull this one out. I think they end up pulling it out, and they're not a good team. They are actually a worse team than the Cowboys, but they are a better coach team, which is why I think they're going to just get past the Cowboys in this instance. So I think they're going to make the playoffs, but with like an 8-8 record, which is terrible. The Cowboys right now, I don't like the way that they're playing. I think the Rams are going to harass Dak. I think that's going to make it big time. I think they're going to make Dak throw, but they're going to put pressure on him. And the secondary with, I think Cooper's going to catch a couple balls if he plays. And I think he's questionable, but if he plays, I think he's going to catch a couple balls, but he's going to have Ramsey all over. Yep. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a tough game for him. And if they're making Dak make these throws, it's going to be tough because, Witten isn't fast. He's got good hands, but he's not fast. Good blocker. They're going to have to really rely on Zeke to come through. And the Rams, they're not bad at rush defense. Their rush defense is not bad. So I expect the Rams to have a good game. I think that Goff will, again, probably make some mistakes. He's been making a lot of mistakes this year. I expect this to be a close game. I'm going to say 24-21 Rams. In this game, I expect the Rams to win out. I do not think they're going to lose another game. I do think they make the playoffs, and I think they continue to do what they're doing with Gurley, which is give him the damn ball, because Goff is not the guy you can put all the weight on. He can't do it. He's just not that quarterback. He is a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback, and you need to give him a secondary help, and that secondary help is Gurley. So I'm going to say 24-21. Rams, and I think that they're going to have it pretty well in hand. I don't think the Cowboys are going to pull this out, and I think Cowboys fans should rejoice in that fact and hope they don't make the playoffs. Get rid of Garrett earlier than later. All right, so that's it for our picks for this week. But then we also have Sunday Night Football, and Sunday Night Football is kind of a big deal because it's got my team. My team's
It
playing on
is.
Sunday Night Football. Whoever
is
thought
very
that was
big
going to
deal.
happen?
Yeah.
Sunday Night Football. Bills are playing against the Steelers. They are playing in Pittsburgh.
Correct.
Who do you have against my Bills versus Pitt in Pittsburgh?
Yeah. Regardless of where this game was played, I was going to go with the Bills. I listen. I think Mike Tomlin is coach of the year. I think he deserves it. I hope he gets it. He's really done an almost Boone-esque job with this tattered and torn Steelers team. I'm sorry, any team that's on a fourth-string quarterback, a practice squad, undrafted free agent quarterback, and can actually still win games that's coaching. I mean, that is coaching.
I do want to give you the over/under too, though. So,
Go ahead.
The Steelers are favored by 1.5,
Okay.
and the over/under is 35.5.
Yeah. So there's going to be a little bit of wishful thinking in here. Of course, obviously, I want the Steelers to lose because the more the Steelers lose, the lower that draft pick goes, and that draft pick belongs to the Miami Football Dolphins. So, and it's starting to look now like no matter what happens, that draft pick is. I mean, even if the Steelers were to lose their last 3 games and they were 8-8, Dolphins are still not going to get the kind of value that they wanted for that pick. Because they probably figured the Steelers are going to be an awful top 10 drafting team because they were on, even then they were on a backup quarterback. Now they're on like a 4th-string quarterback and they're still winning games. So, but I think it stops here. Buffalo has proven to me this year that they are a good team and that the only teams that Buffalo tends to lose to are really good teams. And they need a win here. I think they go in and get it. I do think this is a tremendous defensive battle. I don't see a lot of points in this game. I don't think it's going to take a lot to win this game. And I've got it 20-14 Buffalo on the road.
That's funny. So I originally had the score when I just kind of looked at it briefly a couple days ago. I had originally had it 20-16.
Okay.
Bills.
Okay.
I actually have gone. I've changed my opinion. Unfortunately for Bills fans, I am taking the Bills again this week, which is never good sign for us Bills fans because whenever I take them, which has only been like once or twice over the last 3 years since we've been doing this, they've always lost. They should win, but they lose. So in this case, I think that the Bills defense is going to absolutely manhandle the offense of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think that their defense is just going to cause a lot of, and I think this is where they're going to get the victory. I think that they're going to put a little bit of points on the board with Allen and and Smoke and all that kind of stuff. They're going to put a little points on the board with them, and using Gore and Singletary and all that stuff. They're gonna get some offensive points. Maybe even kick a field goal. I mean, Huskers been terrible all year, but maybe kick a field goal. I have the score 24-16, and that's mainly because I think that defensively, someone like Poyer or someone like Davis or something like that is going to pick a ball, take it to the house, or get them in really good position to score a touchdown or another field goal. And I think that's what's going to happen is that they're going to manhandle this 4th-string quarterback. And it's never good when you go up when you're an inexperienced quarterback and you're going up against a team like this. It's never easy. And I also think that they are going to try and make the guy throw the ball, and they're going to stuff the run.
Yeah, I would avoid
it's
any
easy in-game decision to do, and then adjust if they happen to be throwing the ball like crazy against your good stout pass defense.
And at first, fantasy tips, I would stay away from any Steelers players on offense. I wouldn't go there.
It's going to be that. I mean, I have them obviously beating the over-under, and you have them just scoring under the over-under. So we're both kind of like there, and I think that's kind of where you should be at. I think this is a game that if you're doing over-under, you probably don't want to do it because you could easily lose.
It could go.
This could
very
go either way. It's a very good. Yeah. It's a good over-under for Vegas for sure.
So what was your final score?
I had 24-16.
Okay.
I have Steelers getting some field goals because they're not going to be able to get the ball moving with their running back, and then I have just the Bills just scoring maybe even 10 points off of defense.
Yeah.
All right, that's what we got for NFL. We are done with the NFL for now, and that's perfect because our music just wrapped up. So that's even better. Anyway, let's get into what we have to get into.
The state of the Yankees.
Because oh my gosh, Oh my gosh. Garrett Cole, baby. Finally in a Yankee uniform.
I did not think it would get done because I just, but now I'm starting to wonder if Cashman and Hal were sort of like snakes in the grass these last couple of years, resetting the luxury tax threshold and waiting to drop this hammer because, a lot of Yankee fans, not you and me, because neither one of us wanted Bryce Harper or Manny Machado last year because we didn't feel like that was a need. We even last year, we felt like starting pitching was the need.
Right. Unless Bryce Harper was going to move to first. Then we'd be like, oh, yeah, sure, fine.
Yeah, but even then, it was not a need.
Yeah.
So
that's just luxury.
But it really does feel like, though, that this was what the Yankees were setting up for all along. Because we had asked each other, like, well, if they went and reset this tax threshold and they had no intention of spending money, then what the heck did they do it for? Just to be cheap? Mm-hmm. Well, we can put the cheap talk to bed now. Yeah. That is a thing of the past. Because the Yankees have doled out $324 million to Garrett Cole over the course of the next 9 years. There is an opt-out, a player opt-out after 5 years. I highly doubt he will be taking that opt-out unless he has enough. Unless
he has 3 Cy Youngs.
Because if he does, that means the Yankees might win like 3 out of the next 5 World Series if he opts out after 5 years.
3 Cy Youngs and then 2.
He just hates it there, and he's like, "Get me out of this place! I don't care about the 36
million." They don't
million.
even make the playoffs over the course of the next 5 years. Then he might be out.
Right. But let's be honest. It's a huge signing for the Yankees. But I will tell you that my favorite thing over the last few days since this happened, it was so predictable. And yet I have learned over the course of many years of being a Yankee fan to just laugh this bullshit off. But of course, here they come again, and it doesn't matter who you like. It doesn't matter if you're a Red Sox fan. It doesn't matter if you're a Mets fan. It doesn't matter if you're an Oakland A's fan. It doesn't matter if you're a Giants fan. It doesn't matter if you're a Cardinals fan or a Royals fan or a Brewers fan. It doesn't matter if you're a Texas Rangers fan. They are coming out the woodworks to say that the Yankees are buying championships again.
Oh, gosh.
Here we go again. Where was all this talk, though, in the last couple of years? When the Red Sox were spending $234 million in 2018, and you and I never said a word about that.
No.
Why? Because, well, first of all, the whole thing about not throwing, don't throw stones in glass houses, but also, who cares? Like, I don't care. I don't care what your team wins. Yeah. I don't care what your team spends because I still believe at the end of the day, no matter what, you still have to play those games. You still have to win those games. You could have a high payroll and not get anywhere. You could have high payrolls in any sport and not make the playoffs. You could have low payrolls like the Tampa Bay Rays and push the Houston Astros to Game 5 of an American League Division Series. You could do all these things. You could have the money is part of it. Let's not kid ourselves.
The Red Sox still have the highest payroll in baseball.
They do have I don't know if they do anymore.
Yeah, by $5 million.
I don't know.
$214.9 million, and the Yankees are at $209.
Well, we'll see. If they can trade David Price, they'll obviously be able to shed a lot of that.
Who's going to take David Price on that price?
Well, somebody will take him, but they would have to. I think the Red Sox will be on.
Who's going to take David at that price? That's awesome.
The Red Sox will have to foot the bill for half of that. But listen, let's just talk about Garrett Cole because that's really what this is about. What this means to this rotation is impactful in ways that it's hard to sum up because. Now, if you look at their top 4 guys, those are all guys who would and will start playoff games for this team. Because now you have Cole is going to be your ace. He will go into every postseason series as your number 1 guy. Your most likely number 2 guy, I would think, just to break up the righties, would be James Paxton. 3, you go with Tanaka because he's as big a postseason pitcher as and you want him pitching Game 3, which is always pivotal. Yeah. And then at the end of that, you have Luis Severino, who's probably going to be your 4. And if he's having a monster year, that would all change, of course. Yeah. But
it's good to break up because Cole and Severino are similar. Cole's a better pitcher, but they're similar repertoire, where it's pound the zone, hard stuff. Yeah. Then you have Paxton coming in. He's a pounder. He throws the ball hard too, but he's got a big curveball. So that would be a good breakup for keeping people off balance. And then you go Tanaka, who's like all over. Like he can throw the ball pretty good. He's accurate. He can throw. He can slow it down. He can do it all. And then you come back with Severino, and it's like
But let's.
That's good.
But you
It's
know
fun.
what? The Yankees, and I love this. I have no problem with it. The Yankees are the hunted again, and I love when the Yankees are the hunted and not the hunter. I mean, don't get me wrong. The hunters thing is nice because especially in the last few years, they've sort of been like a slightly lovable team, especially with the way that they've, especially with the adversity of the injuries last year. And then the year before that, when they weren't even supposed to make the playoffs and they went to Game 7 of the ALCS. I mean, so it's been a fun, couple of years. It's been a fun last few years for this Yankee team, but now the target is on their back again. And as a
It's
Yankee
been a fun
fan,
few years, but now
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Let's
That's
go.
how you want it. That's how I prefer it. I prefer the target on the back.
yeah.
That's what. Give me
This is
that
very exciting.
every time.
This is very exciting. I am very fired up for this coming season. Obviously, as every Yankee fan should be. Unfortunately, we did have a couple loss. We had a loss here. I will say real quick. I don't know if you guys follow Talkman. Yankee fans, if you follow Talkman on social media, I thought it was hilarious. He woke up the next day. Hey, anything happened last night?
Yeah,
Goal aside.
it was funny.
He's pretty funny. He's good. He's good follow on Twitter or on Instagram. I think he's on Twitter. All right. So, but we also did lose two, I would think, key elements. Now, I'm more sad about one than the other. Now, Didi is the one I'm not as sad about because I think that we can get around him. There are instances where, yes, Didi's been great. He's been clutch. He's going to Philly. But I think he's replaceable. He was great. I loved him in pinstripes. I'm going to miss him. He was a great social media presence. He was awesome in the clubhouse. I'm going to miss him. But the guy I'm going to miss more, and it's weird because I do trash him from time to time, and I've never really said a lot of good things about him because he is a backup catcher, and that's Austin Romine. He is now gone and going to the Tigers. He and Miggy can brawl on the bench and have a good time, celebrating that fight that they had a couple years ago. But I'm going to miss him because of how much time Gary Sanchez misses. He gets injured every year, and Romine has done nothing but been phenomenal as a backup catcher. And I'm going to miss him because he is so solid. He's a good pitch caller, good blocker. He's a solid bat, more than you could ever want. You could actually make a claim that he's a starting catcher in this league, and we had him as our backup.
I have no doubt about that. I 100% think that. I think I said it all year, actually. I'm a big fan of Austin Romine. I wish him nothing but the best. I really, really liked him. And
there was a lot of times where we said Austin Romine should be our catcher, and then Gary Sanchez should go to DH, and then try and figure out to do something with.
But now I think you're going to have. They're probably going to bring in Martin Maldonado to replace him because he was, I think, like Cole's favorite catcher. In Houston, so he was their backup. I would have no problem with that. That's fine. I do not want Kyle Higashioka to be the backup. Sorry, no. I don't want to be getting Higgy with it. 40 games this year. That is no way to. That's not good. But as far as Didi goes, yeah, I mean that hurts. Didi was kind of like a captain for this team in many ways, and he really was. He's just a lovable guy. He kept the clubhouse light. His post-game victory tweets were pretty hilarious, and he never gave himself any credit too. He was so effusive like that. He really just gave the credit to all of his teammates. He never put the focus on him. He was not an egocentric guy. And bottom line, we're going to miss him. He was a heck of a Yankee. He'll be in Philly for a year. Who knows? Maybe he could come back. I doubt it. But you know what? I wish him all the best in Philly. That's a bandbox. As a lefty in that stadium, he should be able to hit some home runs. So best wishes to him. We will miss him.
Yes, his home run power should not go away in that stadium.
No.
And he's going to be a great addition for them. Great addition. All right, so let's. We are going to be signing off in just a few seconds. Sorry, Clint.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't know if you heard, but we are doing a very quick show today.
But Clint did ask for Funko Friday, and
yes.
I do want to give him one.
That's it.
Now, if you're a CW fan, you have been watching this week.
But I haven't been watching.
Well, the first 3 episodes of Crisis on Infinite Earths took place, and
I don't want to hear anything about it.
So far, so good. Yeah. But I think the one thing that did happen because they showed it in all the ads was that my boy Tom Welling, holy cannoli, aka Clark Kent from Smallville,
showed up as Superman.
No, he showed up as Clark Kent.
Did he?
which is why you are seeing Clark Kent. I will not give you any more information than that. Great. There he is. This was the very This is the very last scene of the very last episode of Smallville, where he is ripping his, button shirt and tie off to reveal the suit. This is the very last scene of Smallville in season 10. So there you go.
Was that satisfying?
I had a vision for what I wanted for it.
Yeah.
It just came a little bit short, because the vision that I wanted for it was I wanted that last scene to be the same exact last scene that they always showed at the end of the Christopher Reeve Superman movies, where he's flying in space and he would look at the camera and smile. I wanted that. That was what I wanted.
A little homage.
I didn't get that.
Gotcha.
But, which is the picture that I have hanging right here, which you cannot see, but it's literally right above my head. Mm-hmm. That's Superman flying in space, smiling at the camera.
Yeah. I know. I've been in your basement.
You've seen it, yes.
Yeah. I will have to participate again soon because golden tee.
We got some golden tee.
Lots of golf to be played. All
I've had
simulated.
I had a couple of crappy rounds lately. So
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you guys for checking in with us. We will be back again on Monday, and we'll talk about all sorts of stuff that's going on. We'll recap the Monday picks that we had. What we learned from the weekend. We will also get into more baseball signings because I am certain that Mad Bum's coming soon. And it was also a lot of good, like Rendon, Angels, Nats, Strasburg. They got them back.
And
they signed Rendon and Strasburg. Both got signed for the same exact deal. Mets got Waka and Porcello. I think that was great for them.
I think that's good depth for them. They could probably trade someone now too, the Mets.
Yeah. The other big, and then another big one was Gardy. Yankees got Gardy again.
Yes, Gardy's back.
12.5. That's good because it's just the injuries with Hicks. And then there's a possible trade with Hader on the line. There's rumors going on that the Yankees are heavily trying to get him, but there's also rumors saying, happen. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
I think the cost might be prohibitive to get him. The guy's got a lot of team control. There's four years of team control if you get him, and he's only 26.
We made our Bills picks too, Clint. Just to let you know, we both
picked the Bills, by the way.
Yes. And then also Adam Jones goes to Japan.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I love Adam Jones.
Thought that. I would have
never. I always liked him.
Yeah, he's just a good guy to watch in baseball. All right.
Just a good guy.
Yeah. So thank you guys for watching and listening, however you took this in, and we will be back on Monday to talk more sports and sorts.
And Monday, I'm on vacation through the end of the year, starting Monday. So this is my last day in the office for the week. So for the year. So
this week,
and then but Monday we can have a nice show.
Maybe simulator golf next week.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. We'll figure something out.
Maybe Gold Tee. Who knows?
We'll figure something out. Go crazy.
We'll see.
All right, man. All right. We will see you guys.
Stay classy, play the globe. Part of the journey is the end. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
The weather outside is frightful, but the fire is quite delightful.